Oh wow, how do I go about explaining this dial to you guys? This dial is genuinely Grand Seiko level. And this dial reminds me of the bamboo forest in Kyoto that I just visited, and this dial should definitely be in Kevin O'Leary's collection. I don't know if he has it already, but he should. This is the Seiko Alpinist Bamboo Groove SPB 435J, a Thailand 1000 limited edition. It is made to represent the abundance of bamboo forests in Thailand. On the Seiko Thailand website, it says that this alpinist is part of something called Save the Forest. Hopefully, this becomes a thing for the alpinist line, similar to how the diver line has the Save the Ocean that comes out with beautiful dials like these two watches I reviewed in the past. Check them out. A little history on the Alpinist. So, this line of modern watches from Seiko is a reinterpretation of the 1959 model called the Alpinist. Back then, the Alpinist was designed for adventurers and seekers of outdoor activities, especially mountaineers, hence the mountain shape indices at 3, 6, 9 and 12, one of which has been replaced by a very welcome date window. The watch back then had a screw-on case back to protect it from dust and water. And the leather pad we see here is to protect the watch from the wearer's perspiration, which, mind you, is one of the cause of corrosion on your watch. In 2021, Seiko relaunched the Alpinist into their modern lineup, adding much needed diversity into the Prospect line. Onto the case, this watch has something I would describe as a multi-step case. Despite having that step, I feel this case is rather simple. This is especially true for me because I'm coming from the Marine Master 300. Link on the top right for that review. When you look at this watch top down, you are greeted with a flat, shiny, polished bezel that transitions sharply into a sloping, polished surface. That sloping surface tucks back into the case, giving way to the mid case. The mid case of this watch has a polished chamfer on the top running along the mid case, extending into a wider lug surface. Below that chamfer is a brush surface that forms majority of the mid case. And this is exactly what makes me feel the case of this watch rather uninteresting and simplistic. Moving on to the lug. It is a slim lug that at first glance seems tiny, but on a closer inspection it does fit quite well with the proportion of this watch, being smaller than 40mm. The lugs alternate between brushed and polished surfaces. And here is where we can see what Seiko has done to keep the cost down. The transition between the different finishes are not as sharp as we know they can do even at this price. It has that Seiko 5 finish transition look, which is to say, they are not well defined. At the tip of the lug, we see a straight cut with high polish, again with poorly defined edges. Turning the watch over, we can see the common case back of Seiko with a see-through window. The addition of the word limited edition is nice to see on this piece, and the case back itself is also numbered, so you will be happy if that matters to you. Overall, I believe Seiko could do a much better job at finishing this case. The top surface is good, but will definitely pick up a lot of micro scratches. The mid case and the lugs could be miles better. As far as the crystal goes, it's sapphire and the crown is screwed down but unsigned. This Seiko Alpinist comes in a special box. It is meant to resemble a bamboo tree and made from vegan leather. The green color here is very far off from the green we have on the dial, but I like that it is still staying within the theme of green bamboo forest. The lid of this box has a tiny bamboo leaf sticking out, which honestly is quite cute. We also have splashes of gold text on this box, which we'll come back to later when we talk about the dial. Onto the dial. We are greeted with a beautifully textured dial that is very similar to the peacock dial from the Grand Seiko. It is hard to describe this dial, but let me try. I think the best way to describe the dial texture is to imagine a bamboo weave pattern with alternating light and dark bright green color blocks. All this radiates from the pinion. The dial is treated with a sunburst finish for extra effect. At the tip of the hour marker, we can see a ring of darker shade of green that has the minute marker. This is an interesting detail that I don't see many watchmakers doing, and I dig it. although it makes setting precise time a little bit harder. Onto the dial furniture. The hour marker are rectangular except for the ones at 6, 9 and 12, which are mountain shaped. The one at 12 is slightly different from the one at 6 and 9, where it is made up of 3 triangles. Good for identifying the top and the bottom of your watch in the dark. At 3 o'clock we have a half-hour marker and a metallic date window that makes the watch feel rather upscale. The Seiko logo is applied as usual, while the prospect, automatic and water resistant is done in crisp white printing. The handset are swatch style, I believe that's what they are called, with plenty of lume and fully polished, unlike the other variants from this line, hence giving this particular model something unique. Another unique thing on this model is the gold polished seconds hand. This ties into the gold we find on the box. It's a nod to the shade of yellow that bamboo leaves become when they fall. Overall, I really like this dial, as you might be able to tell. It invokes a sense of freshness into my daily lives every time I look at it. However, it is not an easy dial to match with your outfit. But I can easily overlook that and just match it to anything. I mean, at the end of the day, who cares, right? You are just wearing your watches for you. If not, you should be. On to the dimension and movement. This watch is powered by the 6R35 that has roughly 3 days of power reserve and beats at 3 Hz. The case is 38.5mm with a lug width of 19mm and a lug-to-lug of 46mm. Despite the small-ish dimension, it is still 12.9mm thick, but that doesn't impede your experience on the wrist at all. Speaking of wrists, let's turn our attention to the bracelet. This is a 3-link style bracelet with brushed tops and polished chamfered edge between the lugs on the mid-link. The clasp is a standard Seiko affair with minimal micro adjustment, but comes with a milled clasp. I would like to replace this bracelet with something nice, like a leather strap, but because of the dial color and the lug width, it's a hassle. On my 7-inch wrist, it fits really well. The 38mm size is a joy to wear coming from my 40-inch divers and field watches. The screw-down crown is small enough to never dig into my wrist on this one. No issues at all with this one, no heavy top to deal with like the Marine Master, and no bulky lugs like the Longines. Just great. I'm sure people can cross-shop multiple watches in this price point, but I think with its unique look and feel and color, it's hard to pinpoint a direct competitor. Maybe the Tissot Gentleman? It's a different style, I know, and it could be a stretch to call that watch this watch's competitor. How about the regular Alpinist? I'm not so sure, but feel free to chime in the comment section to let me know what you think could compete with this watch. Stay tuned for my next video and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this review with your friends. Follow me on Instagram and see you next time. Peace.